I want to talk about what I think is the real question on the minds of millions of people right now across this country. And that is, who does our government really work for? Does it work for me? Or does it just work for the rich and the powerful? Have we built a system where the rich and the powerful get all the attention they need? They get the rules they need, from the very biggest to the very smallest, the ones that always tilt in their direction, the ones that ultimately rig the game? Or are we in America that builds a government that works for all of us?
I believe we're in a progressive moment at this very time. We're in a moment where people are expecting, people believe that change can happen, and you can see it all over this country. The moment we're in is kind of like a tree that bears fruit. And the fruit is getting heavier on the branches as it's getting bigger. But if you don't seize that moment, if you don't pick that fruit by offering real leadership channeled toward tangible results, what happens is that it just sways and then it drops. We got to pick that fruit.
As progressives, we move the ball forward by, number one, making sure people have the facts, that they understand the degree to which income and wealth are concentrated in the hands of a few, and why this is corrupting our democratic process.
In fact, 70% of tipped workers in America are women. They work at restaurants like the IHOP and Applebee's and Olive Garden. They make a median wage of $8 an hour, including tips. They suffer from 3 times the poverty rate of the rest of the U.S. workforce, and they use food stamps at double the rate of the rest of the U.S. workforce, which means the women who put food on our tables in America cannot actually afford to feed themselves.
Previously, I had a job where I had union benefits, and now, unfortunately, I do not. And I realized how important they were for me and my family.
What motivated me to become an activist was my children.
Today I was arrested because I wanted to show McDonald's that we're tired of their petty wages. 15 in the union would mean a lot to me and my son. It will change my life completely. I can get out of that basement I'm in. I can provide for him, whatever he needs. I would like to tell McDonald's, stop being greedy. We fight hard every day to live every day. It's not adding up. It's ridiculous how much you're making, and compared to how much we're making, take a second, think about it, that there are children involved, not just high school workers anymore. There are families involved.
And number two, we show the country that there is room for positive change. Whether it's Elizabeth Warren in the Senate or Bill de Blasio in New York, or state actions in the state of Washington, raising the minimum wage, many other states, moving the ball forward. We show that there is the possibility for making changes that are going to affect people's lives in a positive way.
But make no mistake, the people of this city have chosen a progressive path.
What we're seeing now, I think, is a rising tide of people within the Democratic Party and outside the Democratic Party, in the sense that working families is somewhat to the outside. We have got to return the Democratic Party to be an institution that addresses primarily the needs of poor and working people and addresses these issues of inequality which are plaguing poor and working people, rather than simply catering to the financial interests which have given so much money to the party.
I saw the civil rights movement that people said it was impossible to make change, and change happened. I saw the farm workers movement where I came from, and everybody said it was impossible farm workers to gain justice, and it became possible.
I know that there will be physical hunger, but there's a stronger hunger that beats in our hearts and our souls and our spirits. Hunger for justice, a hunger for a system that will end once and for all the discrimination and the workplace exploitation faced by immigrants in this country.
It's very funny. Gay people discovered that they had huge buying power. For a while they called us dinks, double income, no kids. And as dinks, we had a lot of buying powers. So all of a sudden, Absolute Vodka became our champion, and they discovered they could sell a lot more vodka because we drank it. Once we discover the power of consumerism inside, gay movement moved forward on a larger scale Corporations that behave well, treat people humanely, have good employment practices, their employees then spread that word. That corporation will do better. Corporations that bet against populism are making a big mistake in this moment in time.
In the civil rights movement in Mississippi, we used to ask, were you willing to die for freedom? Now a key question is, are you willing to live for freedom and to do the daily work that makes freedom, justice, and democracy a reality?
The power of the Netroots in the progressive movement is that we combine sort of that moment where people are activated with an opportunity to act in real time, an opportunity to be engaged. And we connect that individual sort of moment with many other individuals who are having that same moment at the same time. At Color of Change, we do this work every single day to raise the voices of Black folks and their allies, and we work across the board with many other Netroots organizations like Presente or Ultraviolet or Move On or Credo. All these organizations sort of collectively building power around these issues, utilizing technology and turning moments that exist in the world into long-term movements.
And number three, we make a ruckus. Not violent ruckus, but loud ruckus. We are heard. We demand to be heard.
I'm trying to get progressives and people who believe in a fusion and a populist and a more to understand you and I and this vision is not being attacked because we're weak. You're not being attacked because you're weak. You're being attacked because the enemy of fusion politics sees more clearer sometimes than we see what our power is if we will organize ourselves and build a movement.
Our voices will be heard. Our voices will be heard. It's our time.